Hey guys, welcome back to the revolution. This is manifestation Cancer style. Let me just tell you how my morning went. I woke up at 6 because I wanted to get a bunch of work done. But when I woke up, my phone was already full of messages because there was just a lot of stuff going on that had nothing to do with me, but needed my immediate attention, as in people needed to talk to me and have me listen to them. This continued for about 3 hours straight, at which point I was like, wow, I'm not going to get anything done today. And everything was somehow related to me, but really had nothing to do with me, which was also frustrating. And then I thought to myself, oh, wait, Cancer manifestation video, right? So there are a lot of videos that are how-tos, and they will be as you go through the signs. You'll see like, Aries was all about how to do this, right? Some signs are more about how to, and some signs are more about what not to do. So the first 3 signs of the zodiac are responsible for your sense of self. When you get past Gemini and into Cancer, we go into a completely different mode. Cancerians are markedly different than Geminis. Cancer season is markedly different than Gemini season. But why? You develop as a person. First in the mind, Aries. Then in the throat, in the mouth, Taurus. You eat things, you taste things, you sing. You are earthbound. You mesh with this place. And then the lungs, the arms, Gemini, air. You are in control of your breathing in a new way now. You are speaking your truth. You are making things. You are out there connecting, building bridges, doing all of that. The self is, in most ways, at this point, complete psychologically. And then begins the work of how do we take this person that we have become? Because the instinct then becomes, I want to share this. I want to give this. I am feeling great about myself. I am a thinking, doing, passionate human being, and I would like to share this with the world. And if you look, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, it is about sharing. We don't get to the discerning and the fall and the darkness and all that. We don't get to that much later. Up until now in the season, everything is about giving. Aries gives to the self and to its desires. Taurus gives over itself to you, and you get to plant your seeds in it, right? Gemini gives everything it has to everyone, good or bad. And I'm sure coming out of Gemini season, you guys are like, no, yeah, we know. Good or bad. Just throw it all out there, right? So I would like to point out that it was pouring rain. It was sunny, like beautiful sunny June day. And then it all of a sudden out of nowhere started to pour. And now the birds are singing again because the sun is coming back. So very fitting. Now, when we are developed as a self and we want to then share this with others, this is when Cancer season, this is when summer hits. This is when it is all about giving. Everything you have become, but to everyone. Not just your thoughts like Gemini will do. Not just your fertility and your wholesomeness, your love, the way Taurus will do, not with directing the flow of everything and determining your sense of self like Aries will do. Cancer gives without bounds, without rules, without common sense in a lot of cases, because there is nothing sensical when you are dealing with something as mystical and unknown as the ocean. You have to remember, we know nothing about the ocean. We know so little about it. We know more about space in a lot of ways than we do about the bottom of the ocean. So don't let the fact that it's common, don't let the fact that you can go somewhere and see it, shoreline, make you feel any less awed by it just because it's around. And this applies, every Cancer is like, ooh, wait, I'm feeling something. Yeah, because that also applies to you guys. A lot of times people will take the Cancerian in their life and all the abundance that they absolutely do bring to you, people will take it for granted. Because it is like, if you're going jogging on the Pacific shoreline, every day because you live in Malibu or something, no, you perhaps have, lost the ability to be like, whoa, the Pacific. By the same token, you may go out there every morning and go, whoa, the Pacific. I'm so lucky that I get to see this. So in the same way, it doesn't change the value of the ocean, right? It's not like the ocean is any less valuable or any less powerful or any less mystical or completely unintelligible to us just because you don't appreciate it. And so Cancers are the same. They are innately aware, no matter what you say to them, of what they are. And a lot of times what you'll find is a really interesting brand of jealousy that is associated with Cancerians. So there's a couple of things that we have to take for granted, and the season will encompass this, and how we will manifest during the season will also include this. So I'm not just like throwing it in there. It is a commonly known fact that men are extremely attracted to Cancerian women. Extremely. Wherever your strong placements in Cancer are, you can see that in that area of your life, men just gravitate towards you. Whether you're a man or a woman, understand, there are many, many very masculine men who have a Cancer moon and like get hit on by other men all the time. And it's not because they seem in any way effeminate. It's just because everyone is pulled. The moon pulls, and the moon is Cancer's planet. Cancer pulls you. You don't know it yourself, but you are drawn, you are magnetized to Cancerians, right? Especially if you're heterosexual and they're of the opposite side, you're just like, oh. So there's that. That in and of itself causes a lot of jealousy, a lot of pain, a lot of gossip, right? There's always this sort of not so tacit debate going on right behind a Cancer's back. Well, why does she think she's so cute? Or I don't know why she thinks she's so pretty. Or I don't know why she thinks that she can get away with wearing that or doing that. Or did you see how that guy was looking at her? Or did you see, what I heard? It's a lot of this. How does she pay her rent anyway? That bitch ain't making no money. Like everything that you can think of, like that Cancerian women have to deal with that all the time. Their motivations are questioned constantly. Their relationships are questioned constantly. Their sexuality is questioned. Their morality is questioned. Because when you are in the presence of something that you cannot understand, 99% of the time you will make something up to make yourself feel better, because in terms of depth, you feel out of your depth. When people feel out of their depth, they have a tendency to grasp at whatever will pull them back to the surface. And you have to remember, and for all the Cancers obviously that are watching, you must remember this, and we'll go more into this in your video. Anyone who is trying to grasp at a branch to pull themselves out of your depth, and the branch they're using is gossip as opposed to fact, as opposed to what has actually happened, they are the weakest of the weak. So the way that I would like to present this to you is that those people are there just to cancel themselves out. Because if there's one word that you can associate with Cancerians, that's the mother, right? Cancer is the mother. She gives without question, and she takes without question. She does whatever she wants, right? The mother, the best way to put this, I heard this a little bit ago, and it really got to me. It's from a movie. So it's like a young woman talking to an older woman. The young woman is a bride of the family, and the older woman is the matriarch of the family. And the young woman says, she feels very betrayed. She says, I don't understand. I spent so much of my life just loving your son. She's talking to the matriarch whose son she's married to. And I followed her around like a shadow. My whole life was just shadowing him and making sure he was okay and making sure that everything was okay. And he just abandoned me, like in the dark, and left. And the matriarch says to her, who are you telling? She says, there's nobody who can understand your pain like I can. Because, so good. The mango tree is the king of trees, the king of all fruit. And everyone praises it, and everyone takes care of it, and everyone, mango blossoms are so delicate that if lightning strikes, they'll die. And then you won't have mangoes on that tree that year. It's very delicate. So she says, everybody, it's the king of trees, it's the king of fruits. Everybody is always like praising the mango tree, but it's also the one that gets the most stones thrown at it when the mangoes are ripe and they got to come down. So, and when she said that, it, like, even now when I said it, it got to me, because damn if that ain't true. Like, that is a Cancerian speaking her truth right there. Like, as a mother, and any one of you who are mothers or who play that role as a man for somebody, that the reason everybody thanks their mom when they win an award or, whatever happens, the reason everyone's always like, Mom, I love you, is because your mother will put up with stuff that nobody will ever put up with. Nobody will ever let you slide with all the stuff that we put our moms through. Nobody, no matter what their relationship to you is, no matter how much they say they love you. The only person who will take on that for you is the person who has decided, whether genetically or otherwise, that this child, this person is now in my care. You see this? So the constellation looks like this. That's where we were like, oh, crab. Okay, that looks like a crab. But the beginning is this, which is what? Holding the world. Holding. The Cancerians are the rib cage. The shell of the Cancer holds the lungs of Gemini and the heart of the lion, the heart of Leo. You hold it in and protect that which is vital to life, breath and blood, right? That is given into your care. Why? Because, first of all, it has to be something hard. It has to be something that's really tough and really strong on the outside, right? But not tough on the inside, or else what's in there would get cut or squished or you see what I'm saying? So you have to be really hard on the outside and super almost glassy smooth on the inside. So your organs are comforted. In the same way, what happens during Cancer season, what happens with Cancerians, is that people will encounter one or the other and then feel betrayed by the one that they didn't see coming. Cancer is a dual sign. You must remember this. It follows Gemini and it brings duality with it, but it transmutes it. So let's pull everybody from Gemini season now into Cancer season, now that I've given you that little diatribe. I think I'm like working through some of my own stuff too here, because as a Cancer rising, Cancer Sunday, Cancer in the first house, all that, I have been, like females. Like this is, the thing with Cancerians and females is really interesting, because females who are not Cancerians have a tendency to have this immediate dislike. And then if they get to know you, they're like, no, she's actually really cool. But there's this lack of understanding. It's really hard to understand what's going on with us, because we don't follow any rules. There's no rules in the ocean. The only rule in the ocean is that it dominates. It doesn't know anything else. It's like, what else do you want me to say? I run shit. What do you want? 7/8 of the world is me. What do you want? Earthling. Like, what do you want me to do with you? What do you even want me to explain to you? Come, tell me your problems, cry. I got a lot of salt water anyway. Let's go. But like, that's, when you appeal to the soft center of a Cancer, what you're doing is going, hey, I have some salt water that I need to get out. Or remember how we talked about in the Cancer video last month? Like, I have this stuff this gunk that I want to get out. And Cancer's like, come on. I got an ocean full of tears. Like, come on, no problem. Another few drops isn't going to hurt. We got you. And then they just let you in. And then you're in the ocean. But if you come at them with anything but vulnerability, You're going to get that hard shell. And when you get that hard shell, you're going to bounce right off it. You're not getting through. You're not getting through because this is the cosmic, right? This is the cosmic crab. This is not the little crab you see shuffling in and out of the ocean. This is the ocean. It's a whole different thing here, right? So how do we now take what was the frenzy and crazy of Gemini season, which we knew it was going to be? Just because I told Geminis to be quiet didn't mean that I actually thought they were going to be quiet. Even I wasn't quiet. Even I was like, what? Oh, we gonna fight. Oh, okay, let's fight then. You know, like, and I think that in my case in particular with me, I love being a Cancer rising for that reason. Because Geminis, like, they lose steam. They'll be angry about something and then like a day and a half will pass and they're like, fuck it, I don't really care. I don't have time for this. But Cancers, like, nah, bro, Cancers be scheming. Like, Cancers will sit down and be like, so in the next 5 years, you know what I mean? Like, if we gonna fight, we gonna fight. We gonna fight. So, let's pull all of that, which I just embodied for you. Good job, Umber. Into Cancer season. How do we do that? Gemini season was about creating that play space in Taurus season, and then Gemini season was about sitting in that play space and being really creative. And just getting into your thing, getting into your flow, whatever it is, feeling good about your flow. If you have been flowing, I know the Pisces have been doing really well. I know the Geminis have been sharp. I know that Virgos are unexpectedly getting like jab, punch, like, and they're like, oh my God, what happened? Like, what is going on with the end of the season? So the crazy came from following the flow. Understand that, first of all. When you follow your flow, people get mad. I'll tell you why. People get mad because following your flow makes you super powerful. When you're super powerful, everyone can tell, right? I think it's an Arab proverb. There are two things in the world that can't be hidden: wealth and beauty. I would add vibe. I would add vibe. You can't hide a vibe. And so if you guys have been sitting in that play space and really vibing, you know, with yourself, with your work, with whatever you have going on, if you have been vibing, people have been getting mad. They have been interrupting you. They've been eating up your time. They've been trying to, and that's when the video, interruption. People have been interrupting you. Because when you're in that play space, you are so magnetic. Everybody wants to know what's up, what's good, where you been, what are you doing, oh, damn, you seem different, like, what's going on with you? So, that was Gemini season. And what happened? When you were playing it in your flow, people came. People were attracted, but when people are magnetized, they don't really know how to act. Some people are magnetized and they're like, yo, you're dope, I love what you're doing, let me be a part of this. Some people are magnetized and like, oh, hey, I can help you with this or that, let me hook you up. Some people are magnetized and come over and go, oh my God, look at her. She's so ugly. Why does she swear she's cute? How dare she feel good about herself? She's so ugly. That's been happening a lot to me lately. There's like a group of girls who go back and forth about how funny it is that I'm dark-skinned. And you would think in this day of like racism and everything else that's going on that like no one would even dare to do stuff like this, even under like anonymous names or whatever. I always find all that so funny. Again, Cancer rising, because it's like, it don't take nothing but like a VPN. Like, we know who you are. And like spewing really racist rhetoric, like, oh, she's so dark-skinned. Oh my God, she's such an embarrassment to the culture. Meanwhile, I'm not even from their culture. You know, like that ugly sort of thing is when people are pulled in, you're going to pull everybody in, right? So you've pulled everybody in. And now this is why Cancer season manifestation video is about don'ts instead of do's. When you were sitting in that play space and you pulled everything in, Cancer season comes in and goes, okay, give it to me. No, wrong, don't do it. That's not what we want. We don't want to do this. We don't want to do this because what you're going to be pulling in is all that nonsense that I was just talking about. all that stuff that happened to me this morning, all that stuff that has nothing to do with you, that everybody wants to involve you in. Everybody during Cancer season wants to involve everybody else in their drama. People are going to fight extra loud because they're looking for attention. They want you to come break them up. People are going to be extra loud about feeling bad because they want you to come cheer them up. People are going to bring a fight to you that has nothing to do with you and be like, yo, I need your help with this. Or can you believe this bitch did this to me? When we going to see her? When we go, you see what I'm saying? And as a Cancer, you have this mentality about your peoples. You have this mentality about everything, to be honest. And you will, right, as a season, we're all kind of Cancers in Cancer season, or like learning how to mesh our sign with it. You will feel like going, okay, this is my fight, or okay, this is my hurt, or okay, let you waste my time, you know? No, we're not doing that. And I know that especially in Cancer season, nobody likes to hear no, because you can't tell Cancers what to do at all about anything. You want to see somebody really clam up and really not give a fuck about you, tell a Cancer what to do and watch them react. Because they'll just be like, that's what you think, huh? You don't think I should do that? Okay. Oh, you're going to do it? Yeah, I'm going to do it. What? They'll just tell you. They won't even they're like, yo, yeah, I'm going to do it. I might just do it because you said I shouldn't. So, it's a very strong energy, right? Your mom will take a bunch off you, will take a bunch of shit from you, she'll deal with all your stuff, but nobody wants to deal with their mom when she's really angry and she's reading you your life. Nobody wants that problem. Everybody's like, no, mom, stop, don't. Mom, don't say nothing mean, because I'm going to remember it for like 100 years. Don't say anything. So when you are magnetic, when you've been magnetic and electric and creative in Gemini season, you've pulled all this stuff in, good, bad, and wonderful. We want to keep the good and the wonderful, and we want to get rid of the bad. So no all-encompassing Cancer season, okay? We're not doing that. This is what we are doing. We're doing what we did in Taurus season, because remember, it's a forward and then a back and then an out and then an in. We have to keep doing this because this is how we keep our balance. This is the Tao. Right? This is homeostasis in the body. This is balance, equilibrium. This is always what we're looking for. So, how do we keep the good and the wonderful that we've pulled in and really ride that wave now through Cancer season of flowing and connections and feeling and like love? How do we do that and kick out the bad? Very important. First thing, you must remember your feelings are subjective. Irritating, right? You must remember that your feelings are subjective. Your feelings are only as real as you choose to experience them. Does that mean they're not valid? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the intensity with which you feel something is up to you. Cancerians have a tendency to feel everything right to their core, deeply. This is why Cancers have such dangerous karma. If you hurt a Cancerian in their heart, like they know they didn't do anything wrong, and you just really you hurt them for no reason, it will hurt them so deep. And it is the depth of feeling by which karma works. You understand? So the world is going to pay you back, not for what you did, but for how deeply you hurt the person. That's what you have to understand, right? So that's why Cancers are one of those signs that if you're not going to act right, you shouldn't go anywhere near them. Because you may say something, like as a Gemini, for example, you may say something that's just like nothing to you. And they have taken that and it's gone right into their heart. And they are like crying, sobbing inside. And the universe is like, oh, noted. That was unfair. That was uncool. It hurt you this bad. And that thing gets thrown right back at you like you're going to get hurt that bad. And it is the same with mothers. All of you know this. You can't wrong your mother and get but 2 feet and something happens to you and you're like, ow. And your mom will be like, see what happens? See what happens when you're mean to me? And you're like I said something stupid to my mother and I got off the phone and I banged my elbow so bad. And I was just like, God damn. But like, yeah. So, here you are. You have to separate now the good and the wonderful from the trash, which even if you look at our oceans right now, you see how this is a problem for you guys. You see how this is going to be a problem in Cancer season. The ocean will take all the plastic, even if it kills it. The Cancer in your life will take all the bullshit, even if it kills them, right? It's serious. Like, this is serious stuff. And being a Cancerian is really serious. They're very serious people. And this season is serious. Even though, yes, it's summer, it's fun, it's like beautiful and yellow and all those things. Remember, Cancer is the moon. Don't let the summer fool you. This is a very emotional month. Very emotional month. So, the way we separate is this. Don't go by your feeling. If you go by feeling, you're going to take everything. And then you're going to sit with it for a whole season. And it's going to hurt. That's all that's going to happen. It's going to hurt. And it'll just keep hurting and hurting and hurting and hurting. And we all know a Cancer who's involved in one of these cycles and can't get out. And there's nothing you can do to pull them out either. They have their own way, right? So you can pull everything in and hurt and hurt and hurt, because if you think that this isn't the season, everybody loves to hurt Cancers. Everybody. I don't understand why, because of the karmic thing that I just explained to you, but everybody likes getting a piece of a Cancer. If somebody's mad about something, they will find a Cancer to take it out on, because they know that Cancer will. And you could be giving them all this horrible stuff and they'll still be giving you healing. They'll still be like the ocean for you, right? So, your feelings are subjective. Just because you feel wrong, just because somebody triggers you and now you're angry, just because somebody you feel has betrayed you, just because you can feel that somebody's just getting at you and being mean just to get at you. You have the choice this season. Any sign that you are, you will feel this way, because this is what comes out of people in this season, right? You will have the choice to push them out of your shell. Every one of us will have a shell this season, and you have the choice to take certain things out and say, okay, no, like the thing with the skin color. What can I possibly do about the color of my skin? Like, I'm not trying to dye and bleach my skin. I'm also not ashamed of looking the way I am. I'm extremely proud of my heritage. Like, what can I do about that? That's just something that if I keep it in this circle, right, it'll just keep hurting me and hurting me and hurting me, because there's no logic behind it. There's nothing I can do about it. It's not even something that you should ever make fun of somebody for. So it's like the basis of what they're doing is completely vile, right? So, and then you drop that thing off. Part one. Part one, you take all the trash out that has come in with the ocean, right? Be like the coastline people in Hawaii, the ones I follow on Instagram that are always cleaning up the coastline, getting rid of the plastic. So you're like, cleaning up your coastline. No, cleaning up inside the shell. I can't believe all this plastic got in, all this trash, get it out. Now you're here with your peoples, with your stuff, and you're just chilling. Within this, will stuff arise? Of course. Will they come to you and be like, I don't know how to do it? Of course. And you, because you have a limited amount of space and you've taken care to be like, I'm not going to worry about that because that's stupid. I'm not even going to think about that again. These people I care about, this thing I care about, I'm going to keep this. So you'll have enough room. You can deal with that, right? Part one. Part two. Remember, dual sign. I would actually suggest you all watch the Cancer video this month because it's going to be lit. Anyway. So, part two. When you take these people out, right? This is the coolest thing about Cancers. I know so many Cancers that people love to talk shit about, right? And then the Cancer will get to the point where they're like, you know what? That person keeps talking shit about me. Fuck that person. I don't want to deal with that person anymore. Yo, as soon as the Cancer is like deuces, those people can't wait to come back. Those people itching to come back. Hey, you want to hang out? Hey, you want to go do this? Hey, I was wondering if we could do... Hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. Are you okay? Hey, stranger. Hey, you're being really quiet. I missed you. And the Cancer's like, yo, I was nice to you. I was your friend. I was down for you. You were gang. I was down for you. And now I'm not checking for you. I'm never checking for you again. It's over. It's done. And now you're coming back? That's part two. So the thing about being in the shell, whether you get in there because you're just a flotsam piece of trash plastic or you're actually worth saving, the thing about being in the shell is that everybody likes being in the shell, even trash. So when you get taken out of the shell, people feel some type of way. They do. People get really upset. People have a tendency with Cancerian energy to go, how dare you respect yourself? How dare you not let me be a part of your thing? Who do you think you are? To which Cancerian energy just goes, I'm sorry, who are you? Like, I'll tell you who I am, but first tell me who you are. Who are you again? I'm the ocean. Who are you again? I forgot. What was your name again? It slipped my mind. What are you talking about? Like, I will drown you, and there's a grand water tribe. Do you want to get drowned? So, those people who end up on the outside of the shell will do anything to try to get back in. If that means that they'll come and stand right outside the shell and be like, ew, ew, I hate you, I hate you. They're only doing it to get your attention, because as soon as they get your attention, what happens? You brought them in. They will stand right outside and just taunt you and taunt you and taunt you. And this happens to Cancers a lot. It happens all the time. People make fun of them. Women gossip about other female Cancers. Men have a tendency, Cancerian men have a tendency to have one of the worst raps in astrology. They get shit on by everybody. They really do. And so these people will come and stand outside of your space and be like, ew, 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 or whatever they're going to try. But the point, their motivation is to get back in. Now, once they get back in, they're toxic for you. And you know that, which is why you're trying to keep them out. So a lot of Cancer season is about discerning what you want to bring in. You know, being a discerning wave, pulling in what you want, and being a discerning undertow, if you will, right? And then being able to healthily push out the plastic that doesn't belong, but not being so quick to take it back in just because it triggers you. And that's the thing about this season, I would say part 3 then. So 1, effectively clearing your space because being in the flow has attracted too much. So you're discerning now. You clear out your space, you become inclusive, you become a bit isolationist, and you work from within, right? We'll get to that part. Then these people will come back because they see you inclusive, they see you having a good time, they see you loving on each other, they see everybody happy within your circle, and they're like, I want to be gang, or I want to be such a hater that the gang notices me. Either one is fine with me, but like, what about me, you know? And that's your cue to be like, ew, no, your plastic, go away. Will someone come get the plastic in aisle 5, please? And you just don't pay attention. Part 2, you keep going. What are you keeping going with? Part 3. So here you are in your shell. You've effectively ignored everybody. You've effectively gotten the trash taken out, and it's just you and your peoples. Now, Cancer intelligence is about feelings and using those feelings to constantly heal themselves, others, the world, everything. Your clan, your gang, your tribe, your family, your friends require healing. Your company requires healing this month. People within your structures are hurting. They need empathy. They need compassion. But you cannot willy-nilly be out here giving it to everyone because you will get hurt, you will get taken advantage of, and in the long run, it will just be used to defame you. So don't be out here just giving it out. Get very particular first. Ignore the outside influences and rebuff them brutally if you have to second. And then once you have that safe, secure, loving space with your people that you know you love and need, and they need you, then you're going to feel them start to pop up and be like, yo, I need you. Yo, I need you. Like even what I just talked about. Yeah, I'm annoyed, but I didn't actually get off the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can't tell me, like as a Cancer rising, all you have to say to me is, I need you. I don't know what, I'm like, oh, you got it. What do you need? You know, like, I'm here to serve. So when your group pipes up now and says, hey, I need you, whether you're a Cancer or not, it is your job to answer that call. And so how do Cancers do this without running out? Well, the ocean doesn't run out, right? So 1, unlimited power, unlimited strength, unlimited energy. But don't be fooled. The reason they have unlimited energy is because they're inclusive. Unlimited power, unlimited energy, unlimited insight and intuition for a selected few. Now, Here's the fourth part, and this is my favorite part. Favorite. I'm going to talk about this in the Cancer video too. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday who's a Cancer, and she was telling me about this video she had watched about crabs. I have a lot of friends who are Cancers, by the way. So when I'm talking about the video, I was like, wow, she's like No, yeah, I do. I have a lot of Cancerian female friends. I just love them. So she was telling me about these crabs that make these like balls on the sand, and they have this way of being able to disappear if the tide comes in, or if like a predator comes, right? They can just disappear. So what she found so interesting about the way they burrow is that they burrow and they come up and eat, and then they'll burrow and hide. But wherever they're burrowing, they always have a single exit strategy out of that place where they're hiding to go somewhere else. They always have an exit plan. They always have a way out. You need a way out. This season, you need a way out. This season, to keep your emotional balance, you will need that little escape hatch. And that place for you can be the Temple of Dender in the Met Museum, like it is for me. Or it can be a park, or it can be going to see like your cousin who had a baby, or whatever it is. But you need an escape hatch where you can just go and be and refuel. And you don't need to do anything to refuel, but just be alone. And that's a really big thing in Cancer season. And it's a really big thing for Cancers in general. They need to be alone, and you need to let them be alone. And in this season, you need to let yourself be alone. So you may notice a theme here. Aries is about being alone with your thoughts and getting things done that way. Taurus is about being alone with your space so your heart can really feel free and secure. Gemini is being alone with your play, with your creativity, so you can create without bounds and without criticism. And Cancer is about being alone with your people, with your love, with your tribe, with your gang. That's like, and everybody else gets to be shut out, right? But it's also, you have to, inside of that, again, be alone by yourself so you can give to this greater community that you have under your wing, right? So it's a lot of deflecting energies, letting in certain energies, deflecting other energies, and then at the end of the day, going really, really inward and quiet and allowing yourself that time to be like, everything is coming at me. All these people need my help. All these people want me to understand what they're going through, but I'm also going through stuff. And why does it feel, everyone in Cancer season feels like Cancers do, right? And Cancers feel like they're there for everybody, but nobody's there for them. And they feel that way because generally it's true. That is how it is. So when you find yourself feeling that way this month, you have to remember that you have to be there for you. You have to be there for you. You have to know when to say, even to your tribe, yo, this is cool, but like, I'll talk to you tomorrow because today I got to go do this, or today I got to go meditate, or today I got to go to the museum because like, I just need to recenter. And once you've recentered, and you come back and you give that empathy and that understanding and that love to the people around you, whatever you're actually going through yourself will find a way to work itself out too. Because you're involved in this service of giving and receiving once you get into that mode. But you will find places where you're like, I'm overwhelmed by the whole thing. Even the people in my shell gotta go. Don't kick them out. You have your own escape hatch, right? You can be one of those double-shelled crabs. Take the other one and go take a hike for a little while and come back. What you're not going to do is go take a hike with that shell and go over to those haters that you're not even letting in and go see what they're up to. Don't lurk. Don't care. Don't check. When I tell you that every mean thing that another person can say to you will be said to you this season, just expect it. Cancers are like, yep, this happens to me all the time. People just be saying the meanest shit. Yeah, just expect it. You don't need to go looking for it. That's trash. It's plastic. It's nothing. It is just what is too weak to stand up to the ocean. It has no imagination compared to you. So don't engage it at all, right? It reminds me of a story. I keep forgetting who wrote it. It's so embarrassing. But it's like from when I was in grade school. So I don't know how I could be expected to remember this, but I should remember it. It's a story about a man who goes out in the cold and he freezes to death. I think I've told this before. Definitely I've told this before. And the thing that struck me about the story was it was the first time that a teacher had introduced me to the concept of somebody dying from lack of imagination. So the man was so unimaginative. He was so kind of like a dullard that he couldn't conceive of a cold that was cold enough to freeze him to death. He just didn't think it was possible. His mind didn't stretch that far. And I remember the reason it made such an impression on me, because I was like, that's ludicrous. Like, whose mind doesn't stretch far enough to understand that nature is more powerful than man? That's ludicrous. Everyone should know that. Everyone should be clear on that. But surprisingly, as I got older, I learned that not a lot of people are clear on that. People disrespect the ocean all the time, and it kills them. People disrespect fire all the time, and it kills them. People disrespect nature all the time, and it kills them in many, many, many gruesome forms, right? So, in the same way, these people who are disrespecting you, these people who would in any way, like just not understanding karma, not understanding how it's going to come back to them, the people who are antagonizing you, the people who would like to stand right outside and yell things at you and throw things at the shell and to see if you'll, just let them in. Because you have to remember, at the end of all of it, they really are just desperate for your attention. They really, really want mom to pay attention, right? What all those people have in common, aside from being flotsam plastic trash, is they have no imagination. Just like that man who freezes to death, they cannot conceive of a person, a sign, an energy powerful enough to take their negativity and throw it back at them. And this is generally how people get in trouble with cancers. They assume that the person is docile. They take their tacit demeanor to be weakness. They make all these really false assumptions. And then that lack of imagination leads them to really step over a boundary. And when they step over that boundary, the ocean hits you. It's not like you can never look at a crab or never look at yourself as the crab you are during the season and think that it's just you. It's not you. Nobody cares about you. Nobody's afraid of you. They're looking at the ocean behind you. It's not you. It's your big brother. So when that happens to you and you feel that negativity, because you'll feel it, you'll hear people talking about you, you'll be able to sense it, you'll pick up on it. Just remember that they're not picking a fight with you. They're picking a fight with the ocean. Let the ocean drown them. You don't need to dirty your feet by going over there. Let your superpower do the job. And it is a superpower that every one of us will have this season. So if you've always wanted to be a Cancer, or you're really intrigued, like, is this true? Is this really what Cancers are like? Find some, talk to them, find them in the comments. They'll tell you, like, absolutely, this is what it's like to be a Cancer. And this month, this season, you have the ability, you have the joy of being able to experience it. Just don't fall into the typical Cancerian traps. Being, when people are mean to them, they take it really personal, not understanding the amount of jealousy behind it. People are very competitive with Cancerians. They feel very entitled to what Cancerians have. Like, why does she get to have that? I should have that. Especially the more go-getter type people, they're often really, really miffed at the idea of someone smoothly being able to get what they want without having to try so hard. They have a tendency to go looking for the things that will hurt them. Don't go foraging for pain, please. And they have a tendency to get really overwhelmed by the people that they have taken in their shell, because the people in their shell can be too needy, because the mom doesn't say no, and so they never learned that there's a limit with her, and so they just keep asking, keep asking, keep asking. But like I said, when you feel that way, that's when you say, Mommy needs a break. Mommy needs a break. I'll be back in an hour, or whatever it is. And then you take your break, because all of us will be experiencing that. So, yeah, that's about it. It's an amazing time of year. The sun and everything that it brings us, right? That's why the ocean. Because summer is when everything is just, it's abundant. It's life abundance, right? So enjoy it, and enjoy what it brings out in people. Even really highly refined Cancers find this whole game hilarious. Even when people are awful to them, even when people are too needy, they're just here for all of it. They're just like, yo, I love every second of all of this. This is fun. So if you can find yourself there, great. If you're like me and you still get your feelings hurt all the time by what people say, about things that you can't control. You know, we could learn something this season. We can learn that the shell can get harder and harder on the outside and softer on the inside. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. I'd rather say goodbye before I cry. Y'all can cry in peace in the privacy of your home by yourself. If you're out in public, dry your eyes, wait till you get home. Videos start going up later today, actually. I will do the Cancer video today, inshallah, so that should be fun. And I don't know, there's a little trouble with Vimeo last month where people felt like they couldn't access their stuff. It should be all fixed. I mean, people couldn't even order it. Not they couldn't access it. People who ordered them could access them, but some people just couldn't even order it. So if that happens to you, let me know and I'll try to fix it or find out what's going on. And if not, just use the Shopify link. But that's all when the videos start. That is not now. What else? That's it. Happy Cancer season. Happy birthday, Cancers! I love you guys.